Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Moni. I hope you guys are doing well. So in today's video, I would really like to share the best takeaways that I learned from the book Psychology of Money. Managing money is not about just numbers. It is about our mindset, how we want to manage our money and how we want to spend our money. The book has some amazing tips and very actionable items that really helped me to change the way I think about money and how I want to spend my money. That has changed me completely when it comes to my financial decisions or my financial future or my financial savings. So it has helped me a lot in the last 2 years, and I would like to share with you guys some insightful tips about the book The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. The first and foremost thing is about building wealth, and building wealth is a long term thing. It cannot be done overnight. Like the success, it takes a lot of time and efforts. Wealth is what you don't see: your investments, your savings, also your assets. So all these things are wealth. Wealth is not the flashy things that you show to people and to look rich. So there is a difference between rich and wealthy. Always try to live below your means. I don't want to say that don't spend money or limit your expenses, but try to see where you can cut down your expenses. When it comes to savings, it definitely depends on how much money you make. The more money you make, the more you save, but it's not always the case. It depends on your spending habits. If you make 100K a year but your spending habits are bad, you would rather save less money than someone who is just making 60K a year but the spending habits are really nice. So it definitely depends on how much you save and what kind of a lifestyle you live. So the next time you get a promotion or anything or a work bonus, don't try to inflate your lifestyle and accommodate all the money and spend all the money that you get. Always try to save the money and live below your means. Before, it was 2 or 3 years ago that I knew the concept about compounding, and it just blew my mind. It's not how much money that you save, but how long have you been saving and investing that money. It matters a lot. The time matters a lot when it comes to compounding. Prepare for uncertainty. So if your monthly expense is around $2,000, at least have $12,000 in your emergency fund. At least have 3 to 6 months worth your expenses saved up in your emergency fund. I know it's difficult to do at the first, but it would really help you along the way. I have used my emergency funds at least 3 or 4 times in the past 2 years, where some unexpected expense just came away and did had the money, so I used up my emergency fund. So I cannot stress enough to to build up your emergency fund. I know it takes time, but the wait and everything is worth it. Avoid comparing yourselves with everyone has a different journey, so your path can be much with a lot of bumps, but someone with some other person might have a simpler path. So you don't have to compare yourself with someone else and think that you are unlucky. You just need to stay there and trust your process and believe in yourself and just continue on that track. So there might be a case where many of your friends or relatives, they buy flashy cars or something else, but they could also afford that debt lying around. You don't know what is going in the pictures behind the scenes. Just focus on your journey and what your goals are and how you want to invest your money and how you want to use your money. Everyone has a different financial goal and different financial plan and a different mindset. So you just need to focus on what you want in your life, what your goals are, and align and use your money in that way in which would be fruitful to you. Don't just compare yourselves with other and just feel bad about yourselves. Everyone has a different mindset and a different journey. Understand the role of luck and hard work. There are certain people, I would say, who were way too successful in a shorter amount of time, or there are certain people who did a lot of hard work or they made a lot of risk but they were not successful. Let's talk about the famous Warren Buffett. It is said that he started investing when he was, I guess, 10 or something, and he used to invest his money rapidly, regularly into the stock market. He's right now maybe 90, 4 or something. But if you look at this, the compounding did a great work, and he was lucky enough to, to be born at a time where, investing in stocks made sense. Someone born before Warren Buffett might even don't know what stocks is, or someone, born after Warren Buffett, someone like us might, we have Bitcoin in place. So if we bought a Bitcoin in 2008 or 7, it was like for a few pennies, and now Bitcoin is worth 100. It is at 100k USD right now. So you just don't know. You are not born, you are born at a different time and a different situation. So everyone has a different journey, and your luck and risk appetite, it depends on the time that you were born. So sometimes people just get lucky, and sometimes it's they don't. So it's all part of the time, and it's all part of the luck and time they are born in, and you should not feel sad about anything. The next thing is save for no reason. There should be no reason for us to save money. You never know when the opportunity comes, and if we have that kind of money lying around, we could just go and make the big move. For me, it is real estate. So I save up money, and try to look at different deals, different opportunities in real estate. If something good comes up, I would invest some of my money, some of my personal savings into that real estate opportunity. So it's always good to save your money, and to invest your money. You never know when things come up, and you never know when you can make a lot of money out of it. The cost of building wealth is time and efforts. You have to be patient, and you have to do things regularly in a way they are supposed to be done. I know it takes a lot of time, lot of energy, but there are no shortcuts to wealth. Everyone has to be disciplined, has to be patient, and constantly keep on doing things which will help them to reach their goals. Define your enough. Everyone has a different definition on being wealthy and being rich. Someone is okay having $100 million, while someone on the other end is okay having $5 million, and he could live the rest of his life with that kind of money. So you need to know how much money you need, and it depends solely on your goals. So sit down and see what your goals are, how you want to live a life, and how much money do you need to live that life, and define that number for you. You should once you have that number for you, you know in what direction, and you would know how much you would have to work to get to that number. So define your enough and then work on it. But another thing I learned is be reasonable and not rational. So, or not all your financial decisions have to make sense, mathematically. Sometimes, we make financial decisions based on our emotions. So there can be case when someone is happy if their mortgage is paid, if their home mortgage is paid off. They just like to have the feeling of having a mortgage free home, and so they would aggressively make those mortgage payments, and even pay more than what the mortgage is, and have a mortgage free home in 10 years. So for someone else, he would aggressively invest that money into the stock market and then make more money with an annual 8% return. He could make more money out of it, which is also okay. It depends what your goals are and what you feel comfortable doing. There is no one path to it, but there are a lot of emotions involved when it comes to finances as well. So don't always try to make a sense mathematically that this would be the best case scenario for me, but always also see on what do you like emotionally, and then make decisions of for your finance. And these are some of the things that I learned from Psychology of Money that really blew my mind. I always thought that managing my money could be very difficult, but it says that it could be as simple, and it depends on how complicated we make it. And all the strategies that I learned from the book has really helped me to make my financial goals really aligned to my personal goals that I want my life to be. I hope that this video has helped you to get a gist of what the book actually tells, and I would always recommend to go ahead and read that book. It's amazing, and it has helped me a lot in the past few years, and I know in the future years it will still, the principles and strategies that I learned, it will keep me helping in the coming years. So that's all for this video. I hope you had a really good time. Till then, see you in the next one. Bye bye.